Downfall of Netflix. Netflix was always the top choice of movies and TV shows that everybody would go for. I mean, they had everything, every movie, every TV show. From anime to reality to horror movies, elite TV shows. I mean, there were just barely any things they don't have. They weren't perfect, but they damn near had almost anything you're looking for, 90% of the time. On top of that, with zero ads, no ads at all. That was probably the best thing about it because every other platform had ads, but Netflix was ad-free. Netflix would then hit its peak around 2020 and 2021. This is during the COVID era where they made the most profit. One thing people would do with Netflix is also share passwords. You could be able to borrow a friend's password and watch it from their accounts. Netflix soon then took this feature off, and that's when everything started going downhill. Netflix also started raising prices. The standard used to be around $8 around 2014. It would then soon go up and up. It would then go to $10.99 around 2017, $13.99 in 2019, $17.99 in 2020, which is now $20 to $23. One of the best things is that it was known for being cheap. It would be things like this that would ruin the Netflix brand, and fans would start complaining as they should. Shows were being removed off of Netflix more frequently than it did earlier in its years. This was due to exclusive streaming licenses and reducing server space and fees. But the problem is they do it to shows that people actually watched. Netflix used to have everything you want and had tons of shows, TV shows, or whatever you were looking for. Now it's just become so limited. Another reason also because of loss of licensed content. Hollywood would pull flagship from Netflix just to feed their own platform. This is why platforms like Peacock, Disney Plus started to thrive. Less people were paying for the subscription and they would later on go to a rebrand. But before I get to that, Netflix went on a rebrand about 3 times. The first time in 2011, 2014, and 2016. The first time in 2011 was a failed rebrand. The CEO, Reed Hastings, attempted to split Netflix into 2 separate businesses. This is the most controversial one. He would separate one by strictly streaming and the other one for Quickster. This made subscribers angry. At this time, the prices went up. At this time, the stockings would also get killed. The DVD businessing would get rebranded. Quickster was mainly bad because it ruined customer experiences and was more expensive, all simply just for unnecessary complexity, with the prices shooting up to 60%. The rebrand was so bad, the CEO removed it 23 days after announcing it. He didn't even attempt to adjust it. Moving on to the 2014 rebrand, Flat Red, the streaming era. This rebrand was a success. It changed their image from a DVD brand to a premium television network. They even improved on the theme and logo. It was cheaper and gave a theater vibe, which made it feel expensive. This version of Netflix also had an illusion of premium quality. Not only that, but they'd have more shows and movies at the time. High quality ones to be at that. This is also a perfect time to rebrand because when Netflix rebranded at this time, this made them the top platform. Also because this is when smart TVs and smartphones will start to take over, around the 2014-15 era. And this would top other platforms like HBO Max, which was one of the platforms on top at the time. Netflix always started having their own shows, but this is when it became their identity. After that successful rebrand, Netflix had a rebrand in 2016 that would expand globally. There would be a logo change, and this would be the most aggressive growth phase in Netflix history. It switched service in 130 new countries and was now global. This is when Netflix was at their peak. The 2016 through 21 era was their golden age. Then in 2022, Netflix had lost 200,000 subscribers in a single quarter drop, in its first drop over 10 years. Their corporate blamed it on heavy competition to Disney Plus and HBO Max. This was because the suspension of their service in Russia due to Ukraine war and password sharing. For years, the CEO would always say that Netflix would never put commercials on its platform and using ad-free experience as their main selling product against cable TV. But in the 2022 era, they would launch basic for ads $6.99 a month. He would lower the price to stop subscribers from canceling. It would still backfire because Netflix would cancel upcoming shows and major projects. This is where Netflix would have another downfall, which is now the present. Then in 2024, Netflix would announce it would collab with WWE, the NFL, MLB, and live sports. They would all be big deals, and fans did not like it. You would think that they did, but it faced severe backlash for three main reasons. Every time Netflix would host sports live, it was always buffering and had technical issues. Prime example would be the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. That was one of the most horrible broadcastings ever. It would always lag and it was buffering, and many people were just complaining. It just wasn't a good execution. Same thing goes for NFL's Christmas games. Not only that, but this would also be expensive. After this, more fans would start streaming on illegal websites. At this point, Netflix was already killed, and they just lost all their loyal fans. It's a shame that Netflix has now become a money-grabbing company and aren't loyal to fans.